Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS387P, and we are doing this update availability assignment here where we've created a form which looks similar to this, and by checking the checkboxes, we're able to mark days in a calendar that you won't be available, and so the automatic scheduler will not schedule you on those days. And so we have done step 1 and most of step 2 in a previous video. We've also done step 3 in a previous video, and today, or in this video, I'm going to more or less finish step 2 because we didn't connect up this form to the database yet. And then also we're going to add a little bit of AJAX JavaScript in the form to be able to access the APIs, which we haven't done yet either. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. Alright, so where we left off, let's see, let me log back in here. And we've added a page here called Update Availability, and the page looks like this. If we take a look at the code behind, go into our, I have this in Toastmasters 5, so let me go into here, and it's this update availability. And what happens is this page executes, and we added this code in a couple of videos ago right here, where you first you figure out what the next Wednesday is, and today it's the next Wednesday is this is Tuesday, March 3rd, so what Wednesday, March 4th. So this is the next Wednesday, or the upcoming Wednesday, and then we loop for 60 Wednesdays. For 60 Wednesdays, we make you know, 4 and then 5 and then up to 13 and so on. And if you count the number of Wednesdays here, we find that there are 60 of them. And so we produce this, and whenever we switch to a new month, we end the row and start a new one. So April, and then at the end of the month we switch and we start a new row and we start May. And that's handled here, where we check if the new month, if the month of the next Wednesday is equal to what was the previous month, and if it's not, then we start a new row. Regardless, we go ahead and we print out the checkbox for that particular Wednesday, and then we add 7 days to make it the next Wednesday, and then we check to see if we are at the end of a row. And if we're at the end of a row, then we put this end of row tag. And then we come back around again and we check to see if we're at the beginning of a row, and if we are, we add the beginning row tag, and so on. Okay, so inside here, this is where we display out the checkbox. This is the checkbox. No. This is the beginning of the row. This is the end of the row. And this is the checkbox. So it's a checkbox. It's got an ID, and it's got this variable that's either going to be the word checked or not. And then this is the JavaScript which will be invoked when somebody clicks on the checkbox. Okay, so here we have this. So when somebody clicks on this checkbox, then this JavaScript is invoked. And I don't think that's written yet. That's not written yet. And that's the JavaScript that's going to interface to the APIs, or to the API that we just finished. Now this checked thing, this is going to be set according to what's in the database. If this checkbox it was already checked previously, then it should be in our availability database, and we will find out about it here. Okay, so this assumes that there's going to be an array. This is an array called unavailable date. This is an array, and the index of the array is the date, is a particular Wednesday, and it's in capital Y MD format, which is the SQL format. If you recall, let's take a look at this again. Search for PHP date, and if we look at the date manual, these codes here are what you put here. This is the first parameter, the first argument of the date function, the PHP date function. And so in this case, it's going to be capital Y, lowercase m, lowercase d, which is capital Y is the full numeric year, capital Y dash lowercase m, which is the month, 2 digits, lowercase d, which is the day, 2 digits. Okay, so that's MySQL format, and so that's what and the FW is the current day, the current Wednesday that we're displaying out right here. So if we actually look at the view the source right now. Oh, wrong one. This one. Use. Oh, view source. Okay. We see this is the ID, and then this is the method that will be called when it's checked. It's checked or unchecked. Okay. Anyway, so I wanted to review that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is see how we load up this array. This array has all the dates of the dates that have already been checked, or in other words, the dates that are in the availability table. So let's go to cPanel and let's open up our phpMyAdmin, and let's look at the database we're using, which I think is this one. And if we look at availability, we see that there are some dates in here. Okay, and that's from when we were debugging our APIs. In fact, these were probably created with our APIs. Okay, so so great. We have some dates in there, and so we have to figure out where we're going to load up this array. And on all the previous pages, we've loaded them up in server.php. And if you recall, on this home page here, when we click on these buttons, it sends in, like for example this one here, when we click on availability, let's look at the page source here. When we submit, when we go to update.availability or underscore availability.php, this is the button, and there's this update availability form value is passed into, let me go to the file manager, let's go to server.php. It's passed in right here. So it'll be passed in as true. So So this value, when we click here, this value will come in as being set. And so in here, let's see, this is, let's go down here. This is when this is when the update the desires form is set, which is right here. So the button just above it, this button, when you click that, you reach the desires form. That's not what we want. We want the button here, which reaches the update availability form, and that's why this here, at the very top of update availability, at the very top, we go to server.php. And so in server.php, we have all this code that's in this that's at the top of all these other forms, and this code right here, this is desires and this is update members. They both load up, or both of these load up the forms, the respective forms. This one, and this one. Okay, so so that's a long and involved way for me to explain that in server.php we have to add the code that will populate, that will fill up this particular array. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to start with it doesn't matter. I'm going to start with this one here. I'm going to just copy paste this. Copy paste. And for this one here, I'm going to say, it doesn't matter which one I use, I'm going to say setup availability form. And I don't need this. And so it's not update desires form, it is this one. Copy paste. Okay. Update availabilities form, and what I want to do is select roster.key as our key. The first thing I need to do is I need to figure out what I have to figure out who the user is, because what comes across in the session is just the email address, and I need to know what the code is. So to do that, I just have to search the roster database, and I don't need any of this. From roster, where email equals email. Okay, so this is going to be, and let's call this, let's just call this user query or something. And user query. And so I'm going to search, because really I want this R key, and I get the user here. And let me initialize this array. So unavailable date. That's the same as this date here. This one, this date. Unavailable date equals an array. Okay, that initializes the array. Then, if the user is that, then I'll grab out the email, grab out the key, and that's really all I have to grab out. Is there anything else I need here? I don't think so. Let me just get rid of this. And so now I'm going to make a new query, and I'm going to call it, I'll just say query equals select key as our key. Might as well use the same sort of notation. And unavailable. That's the name of the, yeah, unavailable. So I'm going to grab out all of the unavailables from availability, where the key is equal to this. Oh, wait a second. This has got to be the same as this. Okay. And so the same as this. This is equal to that. Okay, so this is going to grab out all of the dates for this guy, for the user. And in my database, I only have, you know, just me in there, but presumably this table is going to be filled with lots of different keys of all the members and all the dates that they're unavailable, that they're not available to go to the meeting. So that's going to grab out all them, and then I need to gotta put a semicolon, and then let's do result equals MySQLi underscore query, underscore query DB, which is the same as DB. DB, okay, DB is defined way up here at the top. Right here, okay, this connects, okay, connected to the database. Okay, so we are setting up this form, okay, DB, comma, query. Close parentheses, or die, couldn't perform query at line, what is this, 2, 1, 2, L-I-N-E, dot, that's the line number, close this parentheses, colon, space, and I might as well connect on the MySQL error. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Let's see. This closes this parentheses. Closes this parentheses. This closes that. This closes that. Okay. All right. So that should execute the query. Return the record set. And so then I can do while unavail date. Equals MySQLi underscore fetch underscore ASSOC parentheses query result. And so while that's going on, I want to get the date. I'm just going to get a temporary variable here, which is in unavail and it is this thing, that. Okay, so that is the variable, that's the field name. This is the same as that, this is the same as that, and this is the same as that. Okay, so that grabs out the date, and now I've got this this array that I created here, and this is going to say that bracket D is true. How's that? True. That'll work. Or 1. I'll make it 1. Okay. Alright. I think that's all I need to do. So this thing's filled up. Every single date is equal to 1. Otherwise it's undefined. So when it comes to here, it says if this exists, okay, so I can change this to equals 1. So if this now is equal to 1, then this thing is checked. This checked variable is actually equal to the word checked. Otherwise, if it's not, the checked variable is equal to nothing. All right, so I better save this one. And let me go back here, and this is post of it. Okay, so, all right, great. All right. So this will execute. This will execute when it is called right here, which is at the top of this update availability page. Okay, let's save this, and now I think all we need to do is I will click on this, update availability, and oh look, this is checked, and this is checked, and this is checked. So let's look at that. It's March 4th, May 6th, July 1st. March 4th, May 6th, July 1st. That's pretty awesome. So let's change one of these. Let's change this to 11 because then that, and we'll see if this checks. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 11. And now I'm going to refresh this. It's checked. So if you look at the page source, we see that here it's checked, and this is checked. None of these are, and this is checked, and the one down here is checked. Alright, so now we just need to write this. Alright, so that will go up at the top of this update availability here. Let's see. So alright, so what I'm going to do is find my favorite AJAX. Let's see. JavaScript AJAX example. AJAX examples. AJAX introduction. What's AJAX introduction? Here. This. So let me grab this. This is my AJAX. Copy. And go over to update availability. And up at the top here, someplace, right here. How about right here? I'm going to do paste. Oh, I got to do some script. script and script. Oops. All right, so I've got this function here, and I'm going to change this function to this. Copy. It's going to be update availability. So every time somebody clicks on a checkbox, this happens. And what's going to come in is a D for date and a V for value. Value is going to be checked or unchecked. It's going to be true or false. Value is going to be true or false. I'm going to say val. I'm going to say DAT. Okay? And the URL, it's not going to be this. It's going to be something else here. It's going to be URL. Okay, so URL is going to be the API. We can use either API. We've got this API. Ooh, what's that? I need to do that. We've got unavailable API.php and unavailable API underscore PHP, which we made yesterday, and this underscore p.py that we made today. They both do the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Let's anyway. So it's going to be unavailable API dot. Let's use the Python one. Question mark. We gotta give it a key plus some sort of key, and then we have to give it a date. Let's see. Let's open up one of those dudes. Let's open up this one. Oh, it needs a date and an unavail and a key. Okay, so it's got a key, an unavail, plus something which is going to end up being unavail, plus, and then ampersand DAT equals some DAT. Plus DAT. Semicolon, we're in JavaScript. Okay, so that's what the URL is going to be, and we go there, and we're going to come back out again, and it's just going to be a response. It's just going to be that response that we did before, like let's see. Let's test this. Let's I'm going to put I'm just going to have a display out the response, like right. I'm going to name this ID equals demo. Okay, IE demo. Okay, great. So when the response comes back, it's just going to go there. And so this is going to so it's this. The key is, where does the key come from? Oh, the key has got to come from, alright, let's go to server. Is there a key around here? Here we go. This will work. It'll see that. It'll see that. $ key. Okay, so let's go back here. So the key is going to be key equals quote question mark PHP echo key. There we go. Key is equal to that. See, because this assignment statement is executed in the browser, and this PHP statement is executed back at the server. So this thing will get executed just fine, and then when this page renders in your browser, this PHP code will be replaced with the echo of key, which is just, so it's just going to be key, so it's just going to be this. And then when the page is done rendering, the JavaScript, no, in fact, the JavaScript is going to execute when someone clicks on a checkbox. So it's way later. So this has already been replaced with the key value, and so now this has a value. This one comes over locally, and this one is just exactly this. And unavail, oh, val. This has got to be checked. Okay. If val, in other words, if it's checked, then we want it to be unavailable. So then if val is checked, then unavail, then unavail equals 1. So unavail equals 0. But if val ends up equaling 1, if val is true, in other words, if it's checked, then if val comes in checked, then this will be true, and this unavail is set equal to 1, in which case this gets sent, a 1 gets sent across, and then the date is just going to be exactly how it appears here, which, if you recall, it looks like this. Looks like this. So anyway, all right. So this is update availability. Are we done? We might be done. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to save this. Is this saved? No. All right, so let's refresh this, and let me just view the source here. Yeah, here's my. Okay, no. I'm going to check this. Ooh, look at that. How about this? Oh, didn't do anything. Oh. Something must have died. Let's look at the web developer web console. Anyway, let's check to see what this looks like. Oh, it's already set. No. Did we actually set something here? Oh, 318. Did it happen? I don't see 318. Okay, something. The thing popped back. All right, let me refresh this. I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, now I'm gonna click this. I didn't get an error. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. This says 701 and this was 318. Oh, this is way wrong. It just always says 71. Okay. Why is that? Okay. Let me view the source. It's definitely 318. Update availability. Comes up here. That is 318. And comes down and key is correct. Yeah, sure. Unavail equals that. That equals. Wait a second. Wait a second. What is this here for? What is that? That shouldn't be there. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. It's got to be an equal sign. Okay, there we go. So the date, so no date was getting sent in. Okay, let's try this. Still wrong. I'm gonna have to at least do this. If confirm URL, then do this. Refresh. Check. Okay. If unavailable API.py key. Oh, there's no equal sign. Okay. I'll fix that. Key equals. Oh, that could have a huge effect. Alright, let's try this again. Check this. Key equals RH1, unavailable equals 1, date equals that. Okay. Ooh. 318, right? Oh yeah. Alright, let's see, what else? How about undoing 311? So now it says it's available. Refresh. 311's gone. Alright, good. I think we got that part done. So this checkbox thing works. Let's take away that check here. Let's just do, I can just do this. Alright, and now it should not need that. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Have I done everything? I've connected up I've connected this up and I've connected this up. And I think that's all I need to do for so now step 2 and step 3 are finally complete. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think I'll wrap this up and start, and my next and last video will be generating this availability.txt. Alright, thanks for watching.